after you've fine-tuned your placement of the image against the letter to make it the most interesting combination you can think of, and after you've fine-tuned it and you've added the white lines that you need to make it clear, you've created partial lines where you needed them, you added highlights, you added shadows. After you've done all of that stuff, it's time to think of how to place it on your page, because we're not just making one icon, we're designing an entire page. So you need to think of either, are you centering everything, or are you, and containing it on the page? Or are you thinking of ways that you can make your image go off the page? So let's just look at the road example. Because the road goes beyond the page, it creates the illusion that it goes on indefinitely. And that can be very interesting. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a contained image that's just on the page. That can look very good. Think about centering it. Think about using the right page size, either landscape or portrait, depending on if your picture is either wide or long or if it's square. But then you can also try thinking of ways to add that level of interest that comes with making your image go off the page. So you can think of this if you're using, let's say, a paintbrush and you're painting and the line that you're painting can go off the page and extend outwards. In this image, I'm actually going to try making some water that can go off my page. So let's move this all over a little bit to make room for this water. And I made a whole new layer for the water just because I don't want to mess up my watering can. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I have these holes and my watering can is tilted. So I actually think water coming out of it would look very well placed. I'm going to do this using the pen tool. I'm going to start by just drawing, look, I'm on layer 3 and I can tell because what I was drawing was in green and layer 3 is my green layer. So let's go to layer 4. And now I'm just going to drag out some handles, and click and hit V to end it. Now obviously this is wrong. I want it to have a stroke but not a fill. I also want my line to look a little nicer than this. This looks kind of wonky to me. Let's fix that. There we go, and I think that's okay. Let's try to make this a little nicer still because it had like a weird point to it. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of drawing a line for each circle, I'm actually just going to duplicate it over and over again. So I'm holding Option on a Mac or Alt on a PC, and I'm just making a water stream come out from everywhere where there's a spout. Okay, just a few more. Paying attention to details like this can really help make something look more finished and complete, which is what we're up to now. You know, you're going to use the direct selection tool to make your shape look as perfect as possible, but then you're also going to add these little touches at the end that make it look really complete. Okay, so I have my water streams. We're going to do a little trick that I like to do for things that can cast shadow on things, which is Command C to copy it. We're going to hit Command F to paste it in place. Then I'm going to make all of these white, and then we're going to nudge it over just a little bit. And that creates this shadow that ends up making it look even more like water. But this can apply to lots of things where you want to cast shadows on it. Another thing I'm going to do that can be a little interesting is add that dashed line. That'll make it look more like a stream of water, droplets, and that can be pretty fun. Let's make the droplets smaller. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Now, if we wanted to see what it looks like, look, I just tried moving it, but my watering can is locked, and I want to move everything together. So I'm going to select everything. I'm going to move this a little more centered. And now if I want to see what it looks like, I can hit Trim View That gets rid of whatever was on my workspace so I can really just see what's on my page. And I'm pretty happy with this. What I want you guys to do is think of how you can make your shape, your icon, look the most interesting on the page to feel the most complete.